Are you ready for a new adventure? Time to travel back in time, let's go! Are you ready for a new adventure? Let's learn about the past with Anna and Leo.
Hi friends! Welcome to Unlock This, a podcast from Honest History, where we join our friends Anna, Leo, and Percy on adventures through time and uncover some really cool stories along the way. My name is William. I'm 6 years old, and I love learning about history, especially new stories that I don't hear about in school. I can't wait for today's story, and I think you're gonna love it too. So let's dive in.
Hey Leo, check out this part of the museum. It's an exhibit on fashion. Look, there's some really old clothes in here.
Whoa, do you see that dress in the corner? It's huge. I think women used to wear dresses like that hundreds of years ago. Can you imagine trying to fit through a door wearing it?
That would have been very difficult. But check out that pair of shoes in the middle of the room. They have red heels.
The label next to the shoes says that the King of France wore them. I didn't know kings wore heels. Pretty fancy.
I like this outfit next to me. It's a dress with a red shawl. And look, there's a black hat too. I wonder who wore this.
There's a label under it. Here, let me read it. It says that this outfit comes from Wales.
Wales. I know where that is. It's right next to England. Wales is a part of Great Britain.
There's something else on the label. It says, these clothes famously helped the Welsh during the Battle of Fishguard in 1797.
The Battle of Fishguard? I wonder what that was.
You know who we should ask?
Percy. I bet he'll know. Now let's see if we can find that mouse. Hello? Percy? Are you around?
There he is.
Hey, Percy. Leo and I were wondering if you've ever heard of the Battle of Fishguard.
What did he say?
He said he's heard all about that battle. It's known as the last invasion of mainland Britain.
Invasion?
That's when an army comes into a country without permission. During the Battle of Fishguard, the French tried to invade Great Britain. But, according to Percy, it didn't work. I mean, it really didn't work.
See, that sounds like a story. I wonder what happened.
Me too. And whatever it was, it had something to do with the clothes that we saw in the museum.
I don't know about you, but I'd like to learn more about this battle. Shall we go to the vault?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Percy, can you help us learn more about the Battle of Fishguard? Maybe you can find something in the vault?
Let's follow him inside.
Leo, you said the battle was in 1797, right?
Yeah, that's what the label said. So that's over 200 years ago.
Look! Percy found something. He's pointing to that round box. Should we open it?
That box looks pretty old. Here, let me brush some dust off.
I don't think anyone's opened it for years. What's inside, Leo?
It's a hat. A black hat. Come see.
That looks like the hat that I saw in the museum. The one with the red outfit. Now I'm curious. What does all this have to do with the battle?
Well, I think it's time for an adventure. Here, grab onto the hat, Anna. Do you feel that?
I do. We're about to travel. Oh no, Leo, are we on a boat? Why are we always on boats? This one better not sink like the other ones.
Well, the men on this ship don't look very worried, so I think they'll be okay. I hope.
You hope?
And we're not alone. Look, Anna, there's another ship sailing behind us. So if this one sinks, we can just hop onto the other ones. I hope.
Wonderful.
Land ho!
Anna, look!
What was that?
It sounded like cannons. It came from those hills.
Percy said that the land over there is a place called Fishguard. The people who lived there fired cannons to warn the others about the French ships.
Well, I think the cannon scared the French. The ships are turning around. We're going to land somewhere else.
Ugh, we were so close to being off this boat.
Hi friends, are you enjoying today's episode? I'd like to take a quick break from the story to tell you about another great place to learn about the past. Honest History creates magazines and books for kids that are filled with fun stories and activities that bring history to life. From pirates to spies to great inventions and so much more, you'll learn about interesting people, places, and events from around the world that made history. Created for kids ages 6 through 12, you can sign up and receive new adventures delivered straight to your doorstep every quarter. Just visit honesthistory.co. That's honesthistory.co to sign up today. Oh, and here's a special offer for our podcast listeners. Use code UNLOCKTHIS for 10% off. Again, that special code is UNLOCKTHIS. Okay, let's get back to the story.
Leo, wake up.
Whoa, did I fall asleep? Where are we?
You and Percy both fell asleep. We've been sailing for a while, but I think the ships are getting ready to land. See? It's dark outside. But I can see lights over there. The lights must be coming from people's houses.
Let me see. Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe that's a town?
Well, look who finally decided to wake up.
Morning, Percy. Well, it's still dark outside, so I guess it's not actually morning yet. Did Percy say something?
He said those lights are coming from a village, and that the French troops are gonna land there.
Anna, the soldiers are getting off the ship and using those small boats to row to the beach. Come on, let's see if we can get into one of those boats. We'll have to climb down this ladder. Follow me. Let's hop onto this boat. Here, hold my hand.
Thanks, Leo. I think we'll be on the beach soon. Look how quickly the soldiers are rowing. You know, Percy actually said something interesting about these soldiers.
What was that?
He said there were about 1,400 troops on all of these ships, and only about 600 were regular soldiers. The rest were what's called irregular soldiers. They were convicts, prisoners, and deserters. The unit was called La Légion Noire. Noir means black in French. They were called this because of their black uniforms.
I wonder how this invasion will go.
I don't think it's gonna go well. There were supposed to be a lot more soldiers here, but there had been bad weather, so some of the ships had to turn back. The rest of the ships kept going and planned to land near a city in England, but strong winds forced them to sail up along the coast to Wales.
So landing in this village was not part of the plan.
Nope, and these soldiers are not going to be the best at following orders. The troop's commander, William Tate, will have a hard time getting his men to listen to him.
Hey, we made it to the beach. Let's get out with the rest of the soldiers.
Ugh, it's nice to be on land again.
Anna, look at all the barrels they're unloading from the boats. What do you think is inside of those?
Percy said those barrels are filled with gunpowder. The French troops are bringing firearms and gunpowder to Fishguard to prepare for their invasion.
See, I've been wondering something ever since we started this adventure. Why were the French invading Britain?
According to Percy, this invasion was a small part of the much bigger war. The war was called the War of the First Coalition. It was between France and many other European countries, including Austria, Spain, and Great Britain. You see, at this time, France was going through a revolution.
Wait, I've heard about this. It's called the French Revolution.
That's right. During this revolution, the French people rose up against the government.
Why was that?
Well, many workers were angry because they had to pay taxes that the wealthiest people did not have to pay. It felt like the rich were getting richer and the poor were getting poorer. And that didn't seem fair. The common people decided they wanted a change. So they took over the government and brought down their king. When this happened, the revolution's ideas began to spread to many other countries. And that scared the rulers of these countries.
I guess if I were a king, I would not have liked the French Revolution. You know what happened to the King of France? He was sent to the guillotine.
I know, pretty gruesome. And it wasn't just the king. The queen and many French leaders were also sent to the guillotine. Other European rulers saw what was happening in France and wanted to stop the revolution from spreading to their countries. And so France and these European countries began fighting each other.
And it became known as the War of the First Coalition.
Yes, and the other countries were right to be worried. The French did want to spread the revolution. That's what they were doing, or trying to do, in Fishguard. The commander, William Tate, thought his invasion would inspire the British people to rise up against their government. But it didn't go according to his plan.
Hey, look! The French soldiers are heading towards those houses in the distance.
There's a farm up there. Percy said that's where they're going to set up their headquarters. Come on, let's go!
Do you think the commander will be at this farm? Maybe we can see him.
Percy said he's standing over there, in front of the other soldiers. I think I see him. It looks like he's about to say something.
Men, you will have to live off the land. Find food and water where you can.
Leo, look. Some of the men are heading towards the village. Maybe we should follow them.
And it looks like the soldiers are breaking into people's homes.
Many of the troops were very hungry. After Tate ordered them to live off the land, the men started looting houses for food and drink. This is where everything began to fall apart.
Come look through this window, Anna. It looks like the soldiers are having a feast inside.
While the troops were eating and drinking, the local townspeople were getting ready to fight back. And that's something Commander Tate hadn't anticipated. He thought the Welsh people would join the revolution and fight with the French against the British.
Whoa, Anna, there's a woman over there with a pitchfork. Do you see her?
I do! Percy said she's one of the villagers. According to local legend, she rounded up 12 French soldiers and locked them inside a church.
Really?
Yep, her name was Jemima Nicholas. She would be known as Jemima the Great.
She sounds amazing.
But Jemima wasn't alone. Many other townspeople also grabbed their weapons and started to fight back. Just 2 days after the French invaded, Commander Tate's plan fell to pieces. He lost control of 800 soldiers. Meanwhile, a small British militia was marching towards Fishguard to help the villagers.
Look, up on the hill. British redcoats. There are thousands of them.
I thought you said the militia was small.
It was.
Well, I see a lot of people up on that hill.
That's strange. Maybe we should get a closer look. Come on.
Wow, I see people wearing red. The British soldiers wore red, right?
Yes, and black hats.
I can almost see them. Wait a second. I don't think those are British soldiers.
You're right. I see a group of women. Women wearing red outfits and black hats. Leo, I recognize those clothes. They look just like the clothes we saw in the museum. And the women are wearing the same black hat we found in the vault.
From a distance, the women look a little bit like British soldiers. The French must have gotten confused.
They did. Percy said the soldiers thought they had been outnumbered. It wasn't long before the French surrendered. Their invasion had failed.
So that's why the red outfit and hat were important to the Battle of Fishguard. It's one of the reasons why the French surrendered. The French saw the Welsh women and thought they were British soldiers. Anna, we figured it out.
And you know what that means. Hold tight, Leo.
Ooh, we're back in the vault.
What an adventure. You know, I'm glad we found that exhibit in the museum.
Me too. Otherwise, we might have never learned about the Battle of Fishguard. Who would have thought clothing could be so important to an invasion?
I sure didn't. It was a classic case of mistaken identity. Say, do you want to head back into the museum and look at the rest of the exhibit?
Yeah, I kind of want to look at those shoes again. I wonder if any of the other clothes have an interesting story.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Come on, Leo. Let's go back to the museum.
Welcome back. That sure was a great adventure. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna tell all my friends about this amazing story. That's all for now. But if you want to learn more, be sure to check out my favorite magazine for kids, Honest History. There's a ton of stuff to learn in each issue, and I love the fun activities and questions. Bye! This episode was narrated by Nikki and JoAnn Schinderle and written by Heidi Coburn. The production was read by Robot Pirate Media. To learn more about Honest History, visit us at honesthistory.co and follow for updates on social media.